Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live Facebook Live or the recording. So today I'm excited to be joined by Trinity Scarf and Kerry Anson from Optometry Australia. If you don't know who Trinity and Kerry are, Trinity is the National Campaigns Manager for Optometry Australia, and Kerry is the General Manager of Marketing and Communications for Optometry Australia. So welcome Trinity and Kerry. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for inviting us. It's great to be here on your Facebook page.
It's a privilege to have you guys here and to give up your time in the day too. So today we're going to be talking about the Good Vision for Life campaign and how Optometry Australia has led and promoted and engaged optometry using this campaign, and also how members can use takeaways from this large campaign to be able to grow their practices and create successful campaigns for themselves. So whether you're watching the live video or the recording, please share this video with a friend or a colleague who might be interested. And if we get time, we'd love to answer your questions in the comments as well. So let's dive in. So congratulations, guys, on a really successful campaign. Optometry Australia has run several campaigns to raise awareness of optometry in the past, like the UV campaign and the Children's Vision campaign. But the Good Vision campaign is a lot larger and longer duration. So how did the previous campaigns set you up for the Good Vision for Life campaign? And perhaps, Kerry, if we could start with you.
Yes, Optometry Australia has run campaigns in the past based around single themes such as UV or contact lenses, and they've been quite successful in the market. But they weren't delivering a single message, because every campaign that we did had its own separate set of messages. So it was our goal really to look at how we could implement a national campaign with a single message. So we delved in and did a lot of research in the marketplace. We discovered that while there were many campaigns out there that focused on single issues such as glaucoma or macular degeneration, and there were lots of campaigns run by the big corporates, there wasn't really a campaign out there that focused on eye health in general and in the need to see an optometrist throughout life for prevention and detection. So when we honed in on that, we thought, okay, well, here is a clear market gap that no one is filling. How can we fill it? So hence, I guess, the early seeds of the Good Vision for Life national campaign started to form. And then we looked at, okay, if we're going to have a national campaign, how can we position ourselves? How can we cut through consumer and the consumer space? And the Good Vision for Life campaign came about because we'd been using Good Vision for Life for many years, almost 10 years. And it was a really friendly message that we could position into the marketplace. And we work with agencies to look at whether or not that resonated with consumers. And we actually tested a number of taglines. And most consumers came back and said, yes, we like that tagline, we understand it, and we understand the message that it's trying to deliver. So that was kind of the early seeds to developing the campaign.
Yeah, I guess just to add on that also, of course, the understanding and the desire to become more digital for the many benefits. Our previous campaigns may have had that element, but also a lot of more point of sale type elements. So our desire to move more into the digital space for the benefits that I mentioned, such as cost effectiveness, ability to be agile and nimble, and that kind of thing. So that was the other reason.
Yeah, and we also wanted a campaign that anyone could use, whether or not you were a corporate optometrist or whether or not you were an independent optometrist. So it didn't differentiate. You know, it was a generic classic campaign that could be picked up by anyone working in optometry.
For sure, yeah. And it's fair to say that you've engaged members in talking before you started this campaign. You asked them, how can we help you better as far as creating a campaign?
Absolutely. When we rebranded back in 2014, we looked at a lot of member feedback, and we also had a member panel working with us on that rebranding. So we asked our member panel, how do you want to be portrayed to the public? And very clearly came back, we want to be portrayed as community-oriented, friendly, professional, and we certainly, the feedback was we don't want to be seen as a scary profession. Now, when we looked at the campaign and looked at the premise of where we wanted to go, we had, multiple routes that we could go down. A lot of health campaigns are based on scare tactics. Mm-hmm. And looking at what our members were telling us, we didn't want to react to scare tactic. It would be very easy to go down that route when it comes to optometry. We wanted to make optometry warm and friendly and a place where you want to go for your eye health and not fear going to see an optometrist.
So, yeah, and I think that's quite evident in the campaign elements and the look and feel, the imagery and the language used and selected. Is very much to project that, and because that's what our members told us, and we agree. As Kerry said, rather than fear-focused, warm, friendly, approachable, and that's exactly the look and feel we've tried to deliver with the campaign.
For sure. It's been great to use that feedback and promote the campaign. And also Facebook values that positive, warm experience too. So it's going to show the campaign to a bigger area. So it's great.
And just on that, Lee, we don't scare away, we don't shy away from the scary topics either, because our Good Vision for Life is there to promote some of the scary subjects around optometry. And our Facebook site, we do the same too with articles that we see of.
Like the lady yesterday, most of us would have seen the lady with the worms.
Yes.
So, of course, anything with consumer relevance and interest, we will talk about. Yeah. Just as a continual way to raise awareness for eye health and the need for regular eye examinations. That's an obvious need to go and see someone.
Yeah.
God.
Absolutely.
Story.
Yeah, for sure. Optometry Australia wants everyone to come for an eye test, and eye care, good vision is important for everyone, but it was better to go ahead and create a target audience rather than trying to attract everyone at once. So how did you go about narrowing or identifying the target audience?
Yeah, look, we knew that a shotgun approach wouldn't work, and shotgun approaches in marketing rarely work. So we went to our agency, and we also work with a fabulous media buying house who really understands audiences and audience demographics and psychographics. So between both of those agencies, they recommended our target audience of Australians aged between about 35 and about 60 as our target audience. And while that seems fairly wide, they're absolutely a significant part of the Australian population, because most of them have children and most of them have ageing parents.
And they're predominantly still in the workforce.
So we knew through that cohort that we could reach the maximum number of Australians with our messages, and particularly women, because women are the household influencers and decision makers. So we knew if we could tap into that age group, and particularly women, with our messages would start to, I guess, echo across all of the population.
Yeah, that's right. And certain psychographics were looked at and media behaviour to target that group, of course. And as Kerry said, we continue to work closely with our media agency to ensure that our media selection reaches this audience.
And we also knew that target audience were very digitally savvy. They health and well-being were top of their list on what they look for online. So we knew instantly that they would warm to our messages.
Yeah, for sure. So with the target audience, it's important to engage them across multiple channels. So why was it, what helped you to decide what channels to try and reach this target audience between 35 and 60?
Well, this is where we certainly lean heavily on our media agency, who are great and in that space, and continue to we've got a close ongoing dialogue, so they continue to report back and refine and test and that kind of thing. And they're the experts in selecting the media according to the audience. So, and those type of psychographics and consumer and media behaviour that I mentioned. So we work with them and rely on their expertise to help us pick. And we pick a wide variety of media as well. I think it's just, I think we all know in business or marketing, it's, there's so many messages out there, a lot of noise. But, so we try to come at our audience in a variety of relevant ways. So that's the media mix that we work with the agency to select. Yeah.
What was some of the mixture, Trinity, that the agency recommended?
Well, digital is a key part, and the omnipresent part that goes year round and really represents our messages as banners, video, ads in the hand-picked websites. SEO and SEM form a major part. So, as I say, that digital component is the ongoing piece, and the very tweakable,
very fluid,
and allows us to continue to maximise, which of course we love about that, by testing and tweaking. We also radio was a key portion as well. Continues to be radio via the Oz Stereo network. Several stations nationally. We've also now branched into audio streaming via Spotify, just to attract, to reach the people that no longer listen to free-to-air radio, or now use digital streaming. Cinema, we did a trial in cinema, because we had also created a range of video assets, which were performing very well, and we first just promoted them in the digital space. And so that's part of the digital mix, as well as via our own direct channels, the website, and pushing out through stories. So then their great performance allowed us, like TV was wouldn't have been as cost effective, but we were able to do a cost effective cinema campaign using our existing assets. We did do a little bit of TV in the first 6 months, or first year actually, which was more of an advertorial style, again very cost effective, and that's where we utilised our then president, Kate Gifford, and had conversations and dialogue about eye health, and our agency was great in securing extra what do you call it? Repeat
bonuses,
segments and things like that. So it was played a lot. We got bang for our buck there, which was great.
And I think that's one of the benefits of working with a media buying house, is that they can negotiate on our behalf and deliver more value than what we might otherwise pay for. For instance, our radio spots, I think last year they delivered almost 500 additional spots over and above what we paid for. And they do that because they can negotiate on our behalf.
True.
Yeah.
That's good. So you get the better, more efficiency, more opportunities through going through a media house.
That's
absolutely.
Right. And
than what we would be able to achieve if we were to negotiate by ourselves.
For sure, for sure. So just better value, I think. But that's also because we are going out nationally as well. that helps.
With the radio, was there any differentiation between regional and city people?
Good question. Yeah, it was predominantly metro.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
it was all metro.
It was all metro. Yeah, you're right. We couldn't extend to regional radio.
Okay, right. Yeah, because it's there'd be some practitioners that would be looking to advertise themselves on the radio, so they'd be like, okay, where is this most likely to work for me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Everything, you've got to look at your target audience, and say, for instance, if you're selecting a radio channel and your target audience is 20 to 30-year-olds, but the target audience of the radio station is 45 to 60-year-olds, you know that you've got a mismatch. So it's a matter of matching your channel with your audience and getting, I guess, the biggest bang for buck.
That's
right,
that match. And the biggest reach we could get. Yeah. And of course, and then via all of those other supporting channels or complementary channels such as Spotify, such as cinema, such as digital TV. The other one is now in-home catch-up TV, which is a growing demographic too, which can be anywhere. So, just, of course, hoping to reach as large portion of Australians that as within our target audience that we can. And the key call to action, if we haven't mentioned already, but that is number one in all. So we've got the prevention and early detection messaging underpins most of our activity. Yeah. But and then the call to action is always find an optometrist on Good Vision for Life. So that's simply what we want people to do. Search for our members and book an appointment.
And the centrepiece of the campaign was bringing people to the Good Vision for Life website.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
and find an optometrist.
The two steps.
Yeah, and the find an optometrist part. Yeah, that's awesome. So you actually and really you're driving real appointments because patients can go click on the find an optometrist section, and if members have a online appointment set up, then people can just make a direct appointment from the website.
That's right, absolutely. And we're in the process. We had done that with one provider, members of ours who had a relationship with My Health First have to date been able to, consumers have been able to book via Good Vision for Life as well. And now our intention is to move to a place where whoever our member, if members have any relationship with a booking provider or they have their own booking widget or facility, we want to mirror that on Good Vision for Life just to maximise booking options for all of our members. Of course, consumers finding an optometrist, if there's no online booking function, can pick up a phone and we've done some testing to see that's what happens too.
Yeah. That's good. Depends on what people are comfortable with. If they're comfortable with booking online appointments because they're used to doing it with their doctor, or if they're happy just to pick up the phone.
That's right.
And look, if they're seeing an optometrist for the first time, they might not know what kind of appointment that they need to book. So, they may feel more comfortable with the phone call.
For sure. Yeah, that sounds good. So when you were looking at some of these channels, did you have some key performance criteria for each channel that you were looking to meet?
I think the criteria is really around ensuring that the messages go to our target audience and that our target audience are motivated to make a response. So which is a critical thing.
It is, that's right. And key performance indicators probably they came down to reach, but then what Kerry just said is the main objective, of course, which is hard to measure. That's the ongoing challenge as marketers. But we certainly have aimed to do that through research. At the beginning, prior to launching the campaign, we did a survey, tacked onto an existing survey, an omnibus survey, to ask Australians when they last had an eye examination, and then we did the same survey 1 year later. We'll continue to do that. And sorry, not just asking that, annually for sure, and not just asking that, but also have they heard Good Vision for Life messaging, and has that compelled them to
make an eye examination appointment? So that's how we now track, I guess, the impact of the campaign. So we know that the campaign in the first 12 months drove approximately 1.07 million appointments, because that's our target audience told us directly that due to the campaign, they booked an appointment to see an optometrist. So we go, we know something is working.
It can at least give us an indicator for sure. We know it's not watertight. We don't have budgets to survey all of Australia.
50,000 people or whatever.
But it certainly gives us a strong indicator, and
that it's working.
Yeah, it's something that we can do to measure our success.
Yeah. And we look at hits to our website. We look at how many people are clicking on our ads. Every time they click on an ad and come to our website, we've got a clear measure there. So there are lots of different ways that we're looking at consumer engagement with the campaign.
Yeah, of course. We've got all of those reports and numbers and those kind of things, but yeah, the ultimate measure is actual changing in behaviour and bums on seats, really, for our members. So while, of course, we're measuring reach and activity and hits and all of that, we need to,
sway opinion.
Which is, and that's also the reason for moving into a broad, large-scale campaign with longevity rather than more ad hoc messaging. I mean, we have a big picture vision for Good Vision for Life, and it's long-term changing behaviour.
And of course, that campaign now, the Good Vision for Life campaign, we've cascaded to a campaign with GPs that we implemented last year around referral pathways, and we're looking to launch a new campaign very soon with pharmacists. So Good Vision for Life tag resonates across all of those markets as well.
Influencing a million appointments is incredible. Like to be able to achieve that, it's really good. But also, there's been some other benefits from emergency departments as well. That's just been announced?
That's correct. What we did was we looked at emergency department data over the last 3 years, and we've noticed a decrease in the number of patients presenting with non-urgent eye health issues. So we're hoping.
Yeah, we can't necessarily claim
that's as a result, not only just of the campaign and the advertising that we see, but we do a lot of work with the media as well in generating publicity around eye health. And, our media profile is growing, I can't say rapidly, but it's certainly growing.
Absolutely.
And the amount of coverage that we're getting in regional, suburban and national media across print, online and broadcast is certainly growing year on year.
Yeah, and I think the efforts that we've put into that space, the PR activity, has also had some tail effects. We are now very much called on a regular basis. Luca Rundle, our media spokesperson, is regularly called now. I mean, he's excellent with media, and also we did so much proactive activity there that now the reactive stuff is just part and parcel, which is great. So we're, on a very regular basis called on for comment. Yeah.
And of course, media is free. So I mean, it's easy. Oh, no, it's not easy. It's time consuming, and it takes a lot of effort to build your profile with your media contacts. But once you've done that, it's worth all the effort.
Absolutely, yeah. So yes, we'd like to claim that our efforts have had a big impact in the reduction in emergency patients.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a lot of hard work for you guys.
to those. Sorry, Lee. Sorry.
No, yeah, please continue.
It's all of the work that all of our members are doing, as well as us, to promote what we do as a sector.
For sure. And so, with how would you like members to be involved from now on with the Good Vision for Life campaign?
I think there are lots of ways for involvement. I'll pass over to Trin in a sec, but I think the main thing that members can do is make sure that their details are up to date in the member database.
Yeah.
That allows consumers to find them when they go onto our Find an Optometrist search functionality, which just doesn't sit on Good Vision for Life. It also sits on optometry.org.au, which is the #1 optometry website in Australia. So we know it gets lots of hits, as does Good Vision for Life. So please update your member details.
That's right. And also we push out a lot of content too around general eye health and good health that eye health needs to be a part of. So we're trying to build our consumer database, or our database for those monthly newsletters of content. So we'd hope that our members would sign up for that, just for general interest and potentially to push out to their own patients. We'd love that. Or if any of our members are looking for content to share on their own platforms or channels, we'd love that too, because it just create this halo effect of more people gaining awareness of the need to see an optometrist regularly and look after their eye health. So signing up on goodvisionforlife.com.au, entering details into the fields there, sign up here.
Encouraging patients to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow Good Vision for Life on Facebook if members have got an active Facebook page for their practice. Share content, that kind of thing. We're always open to reciprocal shares too.
We have a range of marketing materials that are downloadable on our website. So, members can emulate the campaign in their own practices. We have a partnership with ProVision. ProVision also use a lot of our member collateral as well and theming in what they do. We're very open to being plagiarised and copied.
Collaborating. It's really good. Well, it sounds like members can be a part of it. Can take the initiative to put into the campaign, and they also receive from that too. So it's a win-win.
Absolutely. The more we can get our messages out, and the more consistent those messages can be, the more chance we have of our messages being heard by our target audience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So with Good Vision for Life now being a trademark for Optometry Australia, how do you think that Good Vision for Life will change and evolve over time?
I think it's like anything that you do in the marketing space, or even in a practice, you've got to evolve, and you've got to keep yourself fresh. Yes, we own the Good Vision for Life tagline, which we're very happy to achieve that, because it's going to hopefully stop copycat campaigns, which then protects us and protects our message consistency. But like anything, we need to constantly look at what our target audience is doing. We need to constantly look at what consumers are doing, what media that they're absorbing.
From our members, broad objectives, and ensure we're on track.
Yep.
But with having said we did create it for longevity, we would hope the look and feel will stay consistent. The core brand will stay consistent, but activity and elements will be tweaked.
Will be tweaked. Yeah, just as any campaign is. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to hearing more patients continue to hear the messaging of Good Vision for Life, whether it's directly on the website or on social media, or radio. But also, we look forward to hearing more results, like more emergency department data going down, more people going to an optometrist. And it just thank you for all the work that both of yourselves and Optometry Australia have been doing for this wonderful campaign.
Thanks,
Lee. That's great to hear that feedback.
Absolutely. And thanks for having us on to talk about it. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much again for your time. And we look forward to staying tuned to Optometry News and the weekly newsletter and hearing more great results for Good Vision for Life.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks
everyone.
Thanks, guys.